and roll on. So everybody on this team has a critical role, and I think they all understand it and they embrace their role this year.
Well, they're certainly going to embrace it if it's around the Larry O'Brien Trophy. That's a heck of an embrace.
And I tell you, as great as it's been, and while I think they're the team that's capable of winning it, there are going to be a lot of teams out there. You look at how San Antonio's playing right now, the win streak they're on. Phoenix, we talked about how great a team they have.
Houston's playing right now.
Houston's playing good basketball.
Utah.
Yeah, and not to mention, you know, as much as we've knocked the Eastern Conference over the course of the season, you know, they've won. The East has won 2 of the last 3 world championships.
And we've said it before, if Rasheed Wallace doesn't kind of, you know, leave Robert Horry for a quick second, it's probably the last 3.
Yeah, and both those teams, Detroit and Miami, I think are going to serve notice and be a force once the postseason starts, and I would not be surprised to see either of them win another championship.
Kobe Bryant taps it up, gets the bounce, and, well, it took 6 minutes, but now the Lakers have 5 points in this quarter.
You know you're a given scorer, a proven scorer, when you get a left-handed tip-in with 4 guys around you from about 5 feet away from the rim when you touch the basketball, and he gets a drop for you.
You almost hope for the Lakers' sake that because of all these injuries, it doesn't drop them so far down that it hurts them. Well, I mean, they're going to end up probably having to play San Antonio, Phoenix, or Dallas anyway.
Yeah, and talking with Phil Jackson, he really felt the worst matchup for them was the Dallas Mavericks, just because of the, and based on the score tonight, I tend to have to agree with him.
Yeah, I would too. Harris over to Crozier. Hoover tries a reverse. Nice block underneath by McKee, and then Lakers keep it alive. Cook to Farmar. Nice cut to the basket on the baseline, and then he reverses it. We've got under 5 minutes to go on this one as Dallas looks to continue their torrid pace.
ESPN's special edition of the NBA, brought to you by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard.
Time now for a look at our Converse all-in team moment. And for Avery Johnson's team, just about every moment this season has been magical, and it continues tonight.
You know, it's kind of indicative of their season. They had a slow start in the first quarter, like they got off to a slow start to this season. But right after that, Jimmy, it was all systems go.
Well, you really don't know where to focus. Obviously, Dirk Nowitzki's a guy that you know is going to get a lot of touches, but they come at you from so many different places on the floor. Transition, half court, different guys handle the basketball. Very difficult to defend. You take a look at the balance that we're talking about tonight.
Stackhouse hasn't seen much of the floor in the second half either, so he did most of that damage in the first quarter. He says, thanks a lot, Stack. That's all we need. Crozier. Pass is picked off by Farmar. Pulls up for a 3. In transition, that just raises.
That was only good for about 2.5.
Yeah, I tell you, I was watching Avery Johnson after that last possession, because that was after a timeout, and they diagrammed the play, didn't execute it. And he's coaching as if this, you know, were a one-possession game, which again is the mindset he's trying to instill in his team. And I have to say he's done a pretty good job thus far this season.
Now, the Dallas Mavericks is another terrific finish by Harris. Take a look at their win streaks. 12, 13, and this one's about to go to 17. As Jose Barrera comes into the game. And pops Mensa Bonsu.
Yeah, this is when it gets interesting.
What, you mean in calling the game? Or?
It's interesting for all of us now at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, Devin Harris not able to make that. Here's a guy as a young player who's had a huge impact on their team, but the next step for him, he's got to get better at knocking down that mid-range jump shot, because as they, and you talked about him, as they get into the playoffs and start going against teams like the Spurs and the Suns, he's going to have to be able to, at some stretch, be able to knock that shot down. And if that happens, this guy's got a chance to be an all-star.
You know, And right now, guys, they're at 17.
You know, just play around. How far can they go? They've got Golden State next. Let's just give them 18.
I'm not going. Well,
come on now.
Let's tend to always lose to the teams you don't expect.
I'm just trying to have some fun here.
Then Phoenix.
Then you got Phoenix at home. It's a tough game, obviously, on Wednesday. Then the Boston at home. That should be a win. Then they go to Detroit. So they've got Phoenix
after that.
Phoenix and Detroit, 2 out of the next 4 games, 1 home, 1 away. If they get past those 2, I mean, you're looking at 21 straight at that point.
They may never lose again.
Yeah, they might not.
Those games on our network here is on ESPN continues on Wednesday night. Top 2 teams in the Western Conference, as we talked about, the Phoenix Suns and these Dallas Mavericks at 9 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN HD. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
You know, it's so interesting. We've talked all season about Phoenix and Dallas. I think one of the more intriguing storylines is who ends up with San Antonio in the second round.
Yeah.
Because, you know, San Antonio right now playing as well as they played the last several years, and definitely going to be a team that's going to be difficult to deal with.
Harris with the lob for Crozier in the finish.
That counts. That was a dunk.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to him.
Well, he pulled the rim down to 9-6.
I'm going to give it to him.
And was able to get that in.
Great pass by Jose Juan Barea. And that's exactly the kind of game he likes. Transition, get out, make things happen.
Yeah, he's a heck of a player, Northeast.
Well, he's the leading scorer after Reggie Lewis.
That's not a bad man to follow right there.
Mensah Bonsu.
You said that with authority. I like the way you said that.
And you said it correctly, too. I'm impressed.
Look at the team.
You got to love that. They're rooting for the guys that don't get a lot of time. Love to see the starters up, supporting those guys.
Well, not if you're on the other team.
Yeah, that's true.
Evans outside, no good. Harris with the rebound. Looking for George. It comes to Crozier.
One thing, though, is it's indicative of the type of team you have, and the personality is when you have kind of the garbage minutes, how those guys actually come in and play. With Dallas, they're still executing, trying to do everything the correct way. Again, a great sign of the job that Avery's done and instilling a great work ethic into this team. I don't see if Barea gonna get one up.
Yeah, I'm not knocking the young man. He's had a fantastic career at Northeastern and such, and fought his way into the NBA. But if he walked in to your restaurant and said, "I'm an NBA player," you buying it?
If he showed me his ID,
absolutely. If he's got his sweats on,
I have no reason to doubt the man.
Absolutely not.
No.
Everybody in the NBA, you're on a roster, you can play.
I'm with you on that one. 102-68. There's only one team playing right now. Throwing those hockey highlights just for me, John. And as for Kenny, hey, Kenny, we're your lead-in. We're going to affect your numbers, so don't tell people this is a bad game. They might be fooled.
No, it was a good game. Just the outcome wasn't.
It was a good game played by one team. Evans thinks about the shot. Pulls up. No good. Crozier with the rebound.
Plus, Kenny should be in a good mood because he's a running Rebel alum.
That's right. The Running Rebs are in the NCAA tournament. Congratulations to Greg Anthony.
Thank you.
George with it. Oh, George tosses up an elbow on Vujicic.
John, now
here's our NCAA champs. I'm not making a pick.
Is that superstitious State or superstitious you?
No, that's superstitious Hoyas, as in Georgetown. He's a diehard Georgetown Hoyas fan.
Hey, you got me believing it. I'm telling you right now.
You picked North Carolina.
No, I know, but I'm saying Georgetown legitimately can get to the Final Four.
How come you got to pick 2 teams?
Well, I think UNLV's going to win it all, but our producer, Mandy Cohen, made me pick somebody other than them just in case they happen to get beat. So I'm going to go with Ohio State. Coach Mata and Greg Oden, who just put up just an amazing performance in the Big Ten tournament.
I grew up down in Virginia, so I have to go with somebody from the ACC.
Who does Jim like?